Hello, my friends, and welcome to the nest. That's right, I'm Kate and still home, but I have been out today to my favorite thing that I can do with others in our creative community, and that's go to an open studio. So I thought I would, as I often do, unpack my bag and show you what I took with me and what I'm working on at the moment. So that's it. It's what is it, Tuesday afternoon here, and I missed last week, and now we've got a bit of a break. So it was very special. I didn't end up going the whole time, but what I did take was my trusty nest. I'm just checking that I've got some scissors. Yep, I've got scissors and my nest. I like to take a variety of things out with me. So there's my nest. Here is my flowers in vases 2 that I've been doing a lot of work on in the last couple of days, and I will show you that separately because I'm about to start the third one. But what I'm really enjoying, I may as well show you, is doing a little bit more of the weaving fleur style. Haven't resolved how I'm going to do the vase, but I took that with me. Did I do a stitch on that? Probably not. I think I spent most of my time on this one, and so I think I'm just feeling them because I'm sort of intuitive that way. Yeah, I think we'll do this one. So this is the swan tote, and I have been doing some housekeeping on her since you saw her last, mainly because I love this side so much, and this is the second side. Just make sure I've got a needle. Give me one spot, a needle. Thank you to the lovely lady who pointed out that I'd put a piece over my needle, over my pins the other day. Those sorts of things are happening to me more and more. Yeah, there's a needle up here. Okay, so maybe I should talk to you about this side, because this is where the major renovations has already taken place. Because I like the other side so much, I don't want to make you dizzy, with the feature of the swan, and that was all bare, I started to really, really like this piece. And when I looked at the other, and I'm going to make this the front, when I looked at the other side, it was too busy. So I have moved some pieces around. I've taken a little bit of the Lucello dark green background fabric. I snipped that. I put some more of this birdie fabric on. This came back from India with me, so it's there. And what else have I done? I put this on. So the Liberty corner down here, I've actually covered up the Natalie Latte heart. And you might be thinking, why? Well, I have plenty of hearts on that material, and I just think it belongs on a different sort of piece. And maybe was that me getting carried away with, well, I suppose what I'm trying to say is I absolutely love the fabric, but maybe its colours I noticed are quite different to mine, which is fair enough because she's a stylist in her own right. But when I started to blend this side with the previous side, this is where I got to. So I hope that makes sense. This was a big, I better just check. Yeah, I'm sort of trying to lay things out a little bit cleaner so that you can see the whole work. This was a big tablecloth that I had shared at a workshop. And look, even looking down, you can see it's a very busy garden. So I put that there over the heart to lighten it up. I've got my teacups that everyone enjoyed seeing. They need to come down there. When I was in Perth. Here's my pansies, and I found the remnant of that needs to go on my hope tote. I've just unthreaded my needle. And the major things that you might notice is I moved this piece that was previously the center of the other side. down here, so I didn't lose it. And I've got the back piece of that embroidery from over here. One of these turned upside down. So it's all about just having a play and editing. So I had threaded this while I was talking to you, and you can see that the swan is a bit puffy because she hasn't been tiny tacked down. And I'm not someone to canter, but Susie, do not forget that is you, and Susie is the person who gave me this little Kate badge. So special. Sometimes I forget to show the detail, and some of you new people mightn't know all about it. Okay, so things that are going through my head. I've got this blue flower here. The instinct is to turn that pink, but I've got the blue bird over there, and now I've got the blue rainbow down here. So I think I will just let that go. I've got a lot of embroidery here, and this flower is starting to emerge, and seeing I've got this little pink bit of wool, let's just do a quick thread paint or colour in. So I've had a lovely time, so much so that I've been talking to real people and I haven't asked you how you are going. So I do think of you, and I know many of you are very envious of the opportunity that we local women have to go to the green door. And I hadn't intended to stay till the end, but of course I did, and a little bit over. That's because Zoe and the wonderful ladies are just so full of conversation. Sheridan was back from her jaunt overseas. I think I last saw her in September. She's had wonderful adventures, and so it was just lovely to sit there and briefly compare stories of travel and what the children are up to and all those sorts of things. And what were the other ladies doing? Well, hello, Sue. Sue is working on her matching beautiful blue cushion cover. Sally is doing a, I can never say that, you know, the Japanese. She's doing beautiful, beautiful embroidery on a denim shirt jacket. Kristen was there. Oh, and Maureen was there. Maureen is doing a fabric crochet bag and brought it over to show me very proudly. She was up to going around the corners, so that was lovely to sit with her and help her be confident in what she already knew how to do, but she just wanted to run it by someone. So, and then there were knitters. Robin was there. Yeah, so a lot of knitters this morning. So it's just like that place where you always feel at home. It feels special that you can start stitching first thing in the morning and keep going all day if you want to, like I am now. What else is happening out there? Beautiful weather is one thing that I need to be grateful for. Today is no wind, blue sky, sunshine, and we often say here in the Highlands that this autumn is a beautiful season to say that, as all of them are. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? They've all got their positives. Where am I going? I'll do another little few petal threads up here. I'm working on my newsletter, which is due to go out tomorrow morning, or tomorrow, shall I say, lunchtime. That's a Wednesday, the 1st of April here. I've got a lot of new people who have signed up on that, and it's not too late. I'll put the link. More and more photos and less words, because I can celebrate visually. My time in Perth and India, the green door. I never run out of things to do, and it's actually quite nice because my March one was very late. Well, no one's standing over me saying what the date is, but I like to do them at the beginning of a month. But March was halfway through the month. So really this is satin stitch. I'm not looking at what direction, I'm just going down. Sorry, the bangles are doing a bit of a scrape. And that's that funny little badge. And this is the lovely button that I got from Helen at our Perth workshops. The next step with this is, and I'm nearly ready to do it, is put my handles on. And I thought, I think I do have some, but I do, in case you haven't seen my totes before, I do favour, still, this is my first one, and I still love this. I love the vintage handles. They're getting harder and harder, but look at my swan there, and mohair. So that's a big one. This is my smaller one that I began in Melbourne last year, and just to let you know, if you know anyone, I moved to a bigger studio in Melbourne. I'm going to the lovely Bellas, so there are some extra spaces above in there if anyone wants to do a workshop on a pouch, the story pouch. This one I love because it's got the Indian sari inside and a little pocket, and why I jumped is I bought some of these to share in my bazaar. Just handy little tiny cotton pouches. Here's the Thailand, what was that, 2024, and I used these handles. Oh gosh, I must go back and I have to line that one. But remember, I didn't have any materials with me, so all of this came from the village where I was staying. So I had taken this material with me, but all of this other pieces came while I was there, including the handles. And this is my tote that goes everywhere. Can't remember if I named her, but I love that crochet, that basket of flowers, and she's got the blanket in it. And someone said, oh, this is a flap, and I said it's sort of like an emergency bit of blanket. I've got it hanging down on both sides in case I go somewhere and I need to make something. But yeah, this is the biggest size. And then of course I've got the Tote of Hope, which I took out today and didn't. So why have I showed you all of these? I know, because I want to show you that the next step is, this one's probably about the same size. So I'll go through my supplies, put a handles on like this and encase them. This blanket came from New Zealand and it's such lovely fine wool and a happy colour that I'm not going to line this one. It'll just stay as it is. There's a few stitches stitching through, but it will stay like it is. Look, I'm sorry, I was just looking at this. Thought, I love this braid so much. Wouldn't that go beautifully? I won't put it in there, but I can't wait to show you. I have so many treasures. I'm waiting on a box or 2 or 3 so I can open the bazaar. I was trying to open tomorrow, but I have we'll see what I have ready, but I don't think I will, but I'll announce it. But it's going to have ready-made things and my wool threads, treasures, trims, yeah, lots of different things. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like, but for the moment just get stitching, Kate. Oh. So I've got this space out here. Oh, there we are. Sorry, this was not planned, I promised. I just looked down there and saw that there, and I thought that's what needs to go. So I'm getting rid of the blue, but that makes that bluebird stand out. I think I'm going to leave this doily just totally as is. I could colour in the swan, but I would be terrified if I chose the wrong colour. You know what's happened, don't you? I've lost the needle. Well, I've not lost it. It will just be resting somewhere. So we'll try this other one. So here, how long is that? Too long? I had a really good session last night in the nest, and I found things that have long been buried, like, you may as well. Oh gosh, that's tied onto there. I use this in this doily. I love that so much. Actually, you can go on one of my vases of flowers. On my huge one flower at a time quilt. I was stitching that when in 2024. So I'm just putting this little flower so that it goes over. Yes, so what I was saying there is I'm getting through my layers in the nest because I have to, and I probably, forgive me if I'm repeating myself, I have to make room for all the beautiful fabrics and textiles that are coming from Jaipur in the next week or so. So I have to get this place in order and then decide what I'm taking to Melbourne. And I am saying to myself, I have to be disciplined at the quilt show this year. I can't buy very much. but I do have a bit of a list of things that I can't buy readily here. And of course I'll have to visit Lucello, and I like the range of Suspago, what are they called? Wonderful Eleganza variegated threads. I love seeing, I don't know whose stall that is, but I'll try and share some shops when I'm down there. There we go. Now I've still got the thread going, but usually I would meander down there, but I'm going to save this lovely gold thread, finish it off. I was working on this tulip down here, so it's got some. Now, of course, if you want to make a bag or a tote bag, you will know this, but just in case you knew, you don't have to sew it together right at the beginning. You could be working on this as a whole separate side. And then turn it into a, you know, a pouch or a cushion cover or whatever you like. I'm just in the custom of making tote bags. I love them. And I think it's because they're open and the handles, and they're great for just putting pouches in and other things when you have to zip down the street or to an appointment. There we go. Done a little bit extra there. I'm hoping you can see it. Now we'll go over here. So that was sort of like a stem stitch going down. I'll do a few more stitches down here. We're going to have an outside fire tonight, which is sort of the marking of a season. It's cool enough to sit outside and to enjoy the mild weather, and you know, by the time Anzac Day comes, which is about the 25th of April. We always say that's the beginning of winter here. Okay, so you can't even notice that little bit, but it sits more easily with me. Now I could show you how I'm going to put that down, but that would be a bit boring. So why don't I just change project and come over here. Have I told you that I've still got a big hole there? But I do like how everything is sort of joining together And these are my colours at the moment. And as I said, later in the week I'm starting the third one of these. So I need to find something to fit in there, and I need to do some stitching. I've done, as I said, the weaving. I really enjoyed doing this little flower here. I've done these little flowers in here, and I enjoyed bringing out the gold in the leaves. I was thinking we might do a little daisy up here. Now, what colour should it be? Quite like this light pearl, so if I've got, yeah, I think I have that in here. And I think this is cut lengths. Oh, yep, makes it easier. Every time I look at this vase, I love the colours, but I'm not sure how to stitch it. Have I said this to you before? I sure am. I probably have. But that's just in the back of my mind. I've got some braid I thought I could even put on it. But we'll have to wait and see. Let's do this top little flower here. So I have stopped knotting a little bit, which is a bit naughty, but because I'm liking going in at the bottom of a petal and out at the top, and then going over and over and just catching it. Again, not traditionally correct. Now I'll share this with you. I'm getting some labels made, Kate in the Nest, for some of my pieces that will eventually go online, and I'm ordering from a lovely Australian company, and I was telling the lady what I wanted, and she came back to me and she said, oh, look, everything's okay, but I have to tell you, they might fray a little around the edge. So they need to be all folded under. And I came back and I said, look, to be honest, I really want them to be cotton because that goes with my aesthetic and also, you know, my view of sustainability. And I don't mind if they fray a little bit because they'll be stitched down. And I think you people know what I'm trying to think of. They'll be like my postcards with a little edge around them that I'll stitch each one individually. And she said, but I can't tell a story. I've never been good at telling jokes for that reason. My mind goes off in some other direction. But it did make me smile because she was so professional and really warning me up front, and I had to say, look, please, it's okay. I know you've warned me. It will be okay. So who knows? But I pressed the button on the invoice, and they're going to be made, and that will be another exciting step. Sorry about that. Things were going way too smoothly, weren't they, as I was wittering on. And so, no, let's not worry about that because my iPhone storage told me it was full. So I'm back, but just for a short minute because I just quickly cleared my recent deleted items. And if it goes again, please know I'm not being rude. It just is frustrating. I'm not someone who can, I don't like sitting down and spending a lot of time joining up videos. So And I admire the people who do, and I really enjoy the videos that are done over time. It's just, I can't do that. I get frustrated. Now I'm frustrated because my line of thread is too long. And how do I get this going? I've made it loopy, so it's not really a great demonstration of a petal, but, oh, Kate, do you get like this? I'm sure I've told you before, sometimes I used to actually write on emails, Kate in haste, because my I would just, my brain was thinking faster and I would be typing